This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so guys, a quick checkpoint. So there was some problem with my data sphere system. So I'm just fixing it up. I just need a couple of things, and I really don't waste my time. I'll quickly jump onto the other topic, and I'll come back and do the live connections. See, what we did was I given you all the introductions on the connections, right? How the connection, live and import connection work, how we make, so how we connect different on-premise and cloud applications with SAP Analytics. So what are the prerequisites needed to make an, how we install cloud connectors, cloud agents to make an import connection. And in the last session, I showed you the process, like what configurations needs to be done in your backend systems and how we connect in live with how we connect different systems in live with SAP Analytics. So, but connecting my system, I have small issue. There are some objects I created which were not available right now, so that I cannot create a live model. I need to recreate all of them. Just give me some time. Maybe this week time is mostly on Monday or Tuesday. I'll cover that topic for you. The live connections is a one-day topic. Means we create a live model and build a story on top of the live model. That's a one-day topic. I'll take one day time and cover it up. In the meantime, I'll quickly jump on to the next topic, that is like user management and kind of a transport management. Okay. All right. Makes sense. So one session I skipped, but I'll revisit that one second. So I'll come back once my systems are ready and I'll give it. So now once your connections and live modeling is done, so what's my next topic is like user management. Hmm. So how we do user management in SAP Analytics. So this is more like an administration topic. Okay, security or administration topic. User management and role management, guys. Okay, so this is something I cannot, again, I told you, right? So the only limitation we have here is, okay, the only limitation I have, just a moment, let me connect a headset. Is it better now? My voice?
Yes, yes, Sachin.
All right. So go ahead now. So generally, okay, now let's go on to the user management. Here's the, I tell you again and again, see, the only limitation I have during my training is on the user management. I cannot create the users or roles, and also on the transport, how we transport the objects. So those are the only topics which I cover in oral. Remaining all I cover it on the system. Okay.
When it comes to BI or planning or predictive, I have everything. I can do anything within the system. The only problem is, see, I cannot really create a user. Um, So I'll cover it up. Just try to understand, grab the things. So these are the only two topics. Means today's session and the next session are completely oral. Okay, I cannot show anything on the system. I already mentioned it on the day one. Okay, the only limitation I have during my training is these. Okay, just try to understand from the points. Okay, and again, these are not expected at a very low level. So if you go at high level of architect, you go at a very high level positions on SEC, then only you are expected. Okay, okay. So generally in SAP Analytics Cloud, we have three types of objects, guys: users, roles, and teams. Okay, users, roles, and teams. So this is like a role request. This is a general security request. You can ignore this. Uh, to what user, what role we have in the request. We have three objects: users, roles, and teams. So we combine multiple users and create a team out of the user case. Team is nothing but a user group. Okay, so all similar users were grouped into one single team, like all the developers as one team. Okay, so that they all see, guys, all the developers should have same kind of roles, right, or same kind of access. So they all will be teamed. They all will be grouped as one team, and roles will be assigned at the team level. I repeat, all users were grouped and the roles always assigned at team level, so that every user in the team will have the same role. And second, if you have a new user to the team, if you have a new member coming to the team, no need to add him, no need to add the roles manually to him, guys. Just take the user and put it in the team. That's it. Add him to the teams, you will get the roles automatically. Okay. And if you remove the user from the team, so the roles will be gone for that user. Simple. So we always try to maintain most of the roles at the team level. Okay, so all the developers at as one team. For suppose, guys, we got like super users or power users, so they'll be created as one team so that they can come and build their own stories. They will be given roles in such a way that they can come and build their own stories. So you have planners. Okay, planners actually play with the data, right? So they will be given a role such that they can play with the data. So all the planners will be part of one team. Okay. So and in terms of end users case, you'll have lots of teams in end users, lots of teams in end. Okay. Like generally you have got lot of users, team, because like you got sales managers, they should access on reports, they'll be part of one team. You got expense managers. Okay, you got revenue, you got like store managers. Okay, there are different managers from different countries, so they will get lots of things on the end. Okay, and these to different kind of roles and different kinds of objects. I'll speak a lot of, but in terms of developers, one. Okay, for users, one planner, uh, for administrator.
Again, your voice
What's
is breaking. I can't hear you.
happening? Is it breaking for everyone?
Yes, it's breaking.
Give me a moment. Guys, it's still the same. Any improvement or still breaking up?
Now it's better.
Okay. So you got like multiple teams. Okay, so we combine multiple users and create a team out of it. Here you see, if I go on to the teams, here you see, guys, there are lot of teams, and every team has got different so many users. So these are teams are created by this at all. If I say, okay, for administrator there is one team, modeler there is planning reporter, there is your team, a modeler, like that you see. You see, these are the users that we have in the team, 21 members in the team. If you want to add any other user to the team, you can add that member. If you want to delete anyone, just select that member and delete. Have the option. So generally, we combine multiple users to create it. So they should be all of a similar users, guys. Like all the developers as part of one team. Okay, all the planners as part of one team, so that they'll get some certain roles using which they can play with the data. All super users or power users, guys, who can build their own self-service reports will be part of one team. Okay, so that they get their own set of rules. But in end users, I tell you, right, in end users, you'll have lot of teams, because different users need access to different reports and different data. Okay, so for that we create lots of teams in user community, or sometimes we don't create teams on end users, we always assign at the user level only. Okay, all right. So this is how you see. So we combine multiple users and create a team out of it. So then if I go on to the role management, guys, if I really go on to the role management, if I go to the roles, so the guys, there are two types of roles. One, standard roles given by SAP. Okay, there are some, when you go to the roles in SAP Analytics Cloud, the two types of roles. These are like standard roles given by SAP, and these are like custom roles created by the organization. Same in planning also, you got standard roles and you got some custom roles. Okay, so you got planning and you got standard and custom roles in SAP Analytics Cloud. Okay, so most of the companies, guys, they make use of a custom roles only. They create their own custom roles, because creating roles in SAP Analytics Cloud is very easy. Okay, so I really don't see most of the organizations going with standard roles, but still there are organizations where in few cases they use standard roles, and in few cases they use custom roles. Okay, so first let's get an understanding on what are the different standard roles that are available in SAP Analytics Cloud, how exactly they work. Yes, no. Okay, guys, like if I speak about the standard roles that are available in SAP Analytics Cloud. Okay, so guys, in business intelligence, so we have different roles for BI and planning, guys. In BI, in business intelligence, we got BI admin role, BI content creator, boardroom created, boardroom viewer, like that. There are a lot of roles here. Guys, I'm saying that we are not a big fan of standard roles. You don't see any of the organizations majorly making use of a standard role. They all do it through custom roles. Okay. Okay, so then first role we have a system owner role, full privileges. You have anything to do on the system. Like I covered, right? Okay, so when this is created, the system owner role is always given to one user. You cannot give system owner role to multiple users or a team. It should be assigned to one single user. He should be some kind of a high level manager who owns the system. Okay, right? So we have first role, that is system owner role with full privileges. Then we got some kind of an admin role, guys, administrator role, where using which you can create some connections. Okay, you can do some transports. Okay, from development to quality kind of systems. So generally, if you want to do a transport and you want to make some connections in the system, we make use of this here. You see, authorized to view, designs, administrative setup, users, roles, and perform system transports and create connections here. You can also create some kind of users, and you can also maintain some roles, the administrator. If you have the admin role, okay, you can set up the user management. Also, you can perform the system transports, and also you can make some kind of a connections here. Okay, create your own connections. So generally, when I clearly mentioned it, when you're making a connection, you should have a user which administrator role. Okay. So generally, what we do is we'll have a separate user, guys. We'll create some separate system user with admin role, where we add admin role to the system user. Okay. And generally, when we want to transport something, or when you want to create some new users, or when we want to create a connection, someone will log in with that user, system user. Instead of logging with their own user, they will connect with a system user. Okay. So you have this administrator role for all these activities. Then we got modeler role. These all are planning roles, guys. These all are planning roles. Okay. Planning administrator or BI administrator, both are same. That's fine. Okay, we don't need multiple administrator roles. When it comes to planner modeler role, okay, so this is generally given to the developers, SAC consultants, where they manage all the models, dimensions, everything on the data. So this is generally given to the developer community. Then we got planner reporter role, guys. Okay, where see guys, in planning, especially in planning. Okay, so the planner has to come and update the data. So generally in business intelligence and analytics, the user cannot edit the values, guys. Whereas in planning, the planners will play a big part. They will play a big part, and they actually do all the number management. Okay, so data distributions is what we say. So that distributions has to be done. So then this role has to be assigned to the planning team. Okay, generally this role is generally given to the developers. Developers by default get this role. This is also given to the planners so that they can come and update the values in the dashboards. Okay. So viewer role, planning viewer role is given to the end users, business users who can access the data, who should access the reports and data. That's it. Viewer roles. You see, modeler role and reporter role are given to the developers, and majorly report. See, if you get the modeler role by default, you can do the reporting also. That's fine. You don't need a reporter role once again. This modeler role is given to the developers, planner reporter is given to the planning team, and viewer role is given to the business users. Very simple. And administrator role is given to perform these activities like transports and everything. 4 roles you have in planning. Okay. Same way in BI also you have BI administrator role. So guys, you don't really need two administrator roles. Okay, one is enough. That's fine. So then we got BI content creator. Okay. So where you can, using which you can create analytic models, guys. So if you go with planning content creator, like planning modeler, you can create planning models. Whereas if you go for BI content creator, you can create analytic models. Okay. So this is generally given to the developers. Okay. Content viewer is given to the end users, business users. Okay. Application creator is given to the developers, where you can design some analytic applications. Okay. Content BTP content creator is also given to the developers only. I don't see BTP content creator role at all. You can ignore it. BTP content viewer also you can ignore. Okay. If you have boardroom in place, boardroom creator is given to the developer, viewer is given to the end user. See, if you see creator, developer, if you see viewer, end user, simple. Predictive content creator given to the developers. Okay. Predictive admin is also given to the developers only. Translator role, I don't see. Restrict content creator. These all are ignorable roles, I guess. This is where you see generally you see business intelligence creator roles and admin roles. Okay. The creator roles are always given to the developers, and viewer roles are always given to the end users. Very, very simple classification here.
Hello, Satya.
We are not getting your voice if you are speaking.
Yes, I'm sorry, I just got some important call. So yes, if I come back, got two types of roles, guys. Like generally, in standard roles, like creator roles are given to the developers, viewer roles are given to the end users. There are some there are few roles, guys, which I never used or seen. BTP contents kind of thing, restrictive content, predictive admin. These roles are not required, very honestly. So restricted tenant admin. So these things, please ignore. Analytics hub anyway we are not using, so you can ignore this. No companies use analytics hub. So now if I just go onto the roles and see here in SAP Analytics Cloud. So by default, you open the system, you see all the standard roles. Okay. See all the standard roles when you open the system. The only thing is you need to create the users for your organization. Okay. And assign the roles respect to put them in the teams and assign respect to roles to the teams. Okay. Yeah, so by default, you have all the standard roles like business intelligence, got these many standard roles. Okay. And these are some custom roles created. So if I go on to the standard roles in detail, so guys, major standard roles that are given to the SAC consultant is BI content creator, application creator, boardroom creator. In planning, modeler, planning reporter. In predictive content creator. These are the roles that are given to the SAC consultant, majorly. Okay. So in the development system, guys, this is all in the development system. So guys, the same consultant will get different roles in different boxes. Imagine you got a multi-tenant SAP Analytics Cloud system, you got a multi-tenant SAC system. Okay, so you can create the stories in development, but you cannot create in quality or production, right? You cannot really do it. So again, in the quality and production systems, you get content viewer, planner viewer, boardroom viewer. There are some custom roles you'll get to execute some kind of a planning functions. Okay, some custom roles to edit the stories. Okay, so these are some roles we can assign to the same SSC consultant in the quality and production system. Okay, so generally, guys, end user role users are never created in development box. You never see end users having access to the dev system. They never get access to the dev system. So they will be given access to the quality and business users. It's purely production. Okay, so purely in the production, but yeah, so IT users, I'm sorry. So generally end users, you don't see them in development box. IT users means if there is an IT team which acts as a bridge between your SAC team and the business team. Okay, so they will pass on the requirements. Imagine if they pass on the requirements to you and they test in the quality. So they will be given access to the quality and production system. Okay, in the quality and production systems, they will be getting access to content viewer, planner viewer, boardroom viewer, and some custom role to execute some planning function. We always need a custom role to execute few planning functions there. Okay, you'll understand in planning. So these are the roles you get to IT team. Guys, if it is operational user, if it's a business user, business users will be always given access to the production box. You never see them getting access to development or quality box at all. Okay, so means if you have got three SAC systems like imagine you got three SAC systems like development system, quality system, and production system. So business users are always seen in the production system only. Business users, super users, planners. Okay, you always see them in the production box only. Hmm? Maybe super users you see in quality and production, but business operational users like your managers, okay, your high level management like CEO, CFO, so they're getting access to some kind of dashboards. So they always have access only in the production box. They don't know there is a quality and development system. Okay, so and general roles they are given for like content viewer so that they can access all BI stories. They have planner viewer so that they can access all planning dashboards. And boardroom viewer, if you have any digital boardroom in place, if they want to access the digital boardrooms, they will get digital boardroom viewer also. So they will access all the dashboards like BI reports, planning reports, and also got digital boardroom, they'll access digital boardrooms also. The IT users, guys, they also has the same. They can access BI reports, planning reports, boardrooms, and also they have some custom roles so that they some few planning functions. Okay. Whereas SAC consultant, along with the viewer roles, they will get some custom roles like to execute planning functions and custom roles to edit stories also. So this is one way. Okay. So if your company is making use of standard roles, guys, these are the roles given to develop SAC consultant in the development box, in quality and production. These are the roles they get. Same users will get different roles in different systems. Okay. IT users will be available in quality and production. They get these kind of roles. Operational users or business end users, they will get these roles in the production box. Super users in the production box will get planning reporting roles so that they can come and play with the numbers in the plannings, in the production itself. In the production itself, they can build their own self-service reports. Okay. And also they have a custom roles to edit few kind of stories. They will get some custom roles. Here you see, even SAC consultant will also get some custom roles to edit the story. Means they can make a copy version of the story and make some changes in the copy versions. Same, even super users also can do that. So yes, if your company is making use of standard roles, so these are like, so generally guys, if we classify our user community, we are into three types. One, the developers. First one is developers. Developers or security people or someone, the technical users. Second, uh, four types of users you see. First is developers or SAC consultants. Second is IT users. Okay, so who actually do the UAT in the quality systems, who actually test the reports in the quality system. Okay, IT users is what we call them. Third is business users like your managers, your high-end management, low-level management, operational users who actually consume the reports. Okay, third is operational users, and fourth is super users. Okay, so they are like business analysts, they are like strategy makers, strategy planners. Okay, so they come and build their own stories, or they can edit the developer story and build their own version of the reports in the production itself. Okay, so and even the planners in the planning team, you got planners, right, who can come and do all the data distribution. So they will have a super user role. They are called super users. Super users are two types: one, planners for the planning, and second is like business analysts, strategy makers. Okay, to who build their own dashboards on SAC, self-service reporting. So they all do self-service. So these are like four types of users we can say, guys. Okay, four types of users. Two types of users in consuming sector. One is operational users, and second one is super users. And two types of users in IT. One is developers, and second is the IT team, or something like a bridge between the business users and SAC, who actually test the reports. Clear, guys? Makes sense. So what kind of roles will be given to different uh, user community in different systems? Any questions here? Anyone on types of users, on different roles assigned to the users?
No, sir.
Okay. So this is what, if your organization is using standard roles, guys, this is these are like different types of user community, and these roles will be assigned. But guys, I say 80% of the organizations don't make use of standard roles. They don't use standard roles. Why also I'll tell you. Okay. So they actually do everything through custom roles. Okay. So why we go through custom roles? Why organizations or companies prefer custom roles on SAP Analytics Cloud? The reason is, I'll show you something so that you understand it. Guys, if you try to edit any role, you try to create any role or edit any role, you'll see the same screen, guys. For suppose, if I click on some role like BI content creator, if I click on any role, if I select any role, it's taking some time. Let's wait, guys. So you see the same screen, guys. You see the same screen, whether you take a standard role or you take a custom role, you see the same screen. Okay. So what objects, what access you want to enable? Okay, what access you want to enable as part of this role will be seen here. Okay, so if you check mark, that access is enabled on the role. So if and if this role is assigned to some user, okay, the user can access, user can do that activity. For suppose if currency, here is currency and currency translation. Okay, so is read, so they can read it. If you have an option right here, you can only read the planning models. If I give an option to create a planning model, and if this role is assigned to some user, he can create planning models. Okay, if this role is assigned to some users, he cannot create any planning model. He can only read the existing planning models. I have this role. If I assign this role to some user or some team, okay, they cannot create any kind of a planning model. They can only read the planning models. But whereas analytic models, they can create. Okay, understood? So generally, you see the same screen whether you go for a custom role or standard role. Okay, so what we do is, even if, let me show you the custom role also. I cannot create a role, guys. Here you see that option is disabled here. So I don't have an option to create a new role. Otherwise, I would have created a beautiful custom roles and assign it to different teams. I would have managed it very easily. Here, the role management, user management is very, very easy, guys. In SAP Analytics Cloud, it's a very, very simplest way of doing user management and role management. Okay, easiest what I've seen so far. And you don't need a security guy to do that. You yourself can do it up. Okay, and in most of the cases, SAP Analytics Cloud teams don't have a big security team. You don't have a big security or user management, not like ECC or BW where you have a big security. Yes. Here you will hardly find one security poke. If that security guy is not having any understanding, one of ourselves can take an admin user and set up all the roles. Okay, very easy way of doing the things, easiest. So I go on to a custom role here. Guys, one quick update before I go into the custom role. Guys, I'm traveling tomorrow. I just got some emergency travel tomorrow. So there is no session tomorrow, but we'll work on Saturday, okay, where I'll cover the transport management. Okay, so means today I'll be covering user management. In the next session, I'll speak about the tenants, sharing options, transport management, etc. Saturday, we'll have an exclusive session. Same time, I don't change the time. So that we'll wrap up this security and administration part. So guys, from next week, it will be a big planning track starting off. Okay. So anyway, we last week and this week we are like kind of on and off. We hardly have four sessions, four sessions. That's it. Like 1 week we given off. Okay. So I think you all used it. Okay. So because from next week your planning track going to start and it will be very quick. I'm not going to stop because I already have a lot of I'm already in the delay. I am almost like 2 weeks delayed so far. So I would like to cover up and there is no stopping once the planning starts. Okay, no holidays, no breaks. I'll be going real quick on the planning component. Okay, so 1 month it will be completely on the planning. So make sure why I'm giving this heads up piece. So make sure you all are up to the page. Okay, you and me are on the same page before the planning starts. So cover all the pending topics, whatever you have in BI reporting, augmented analytics, predictive analytics, whatever you have, just cover it up. Anyway, this administration and transport management, you got nothing to practice. So just cover up all your backlogs. Okay. Make sure you are ready for planning from next week. Okay. And it's a big track, guys. I honestly say it's a very big track and it will be covered real quick. Okay. So you should practice it on a day-to-day basis to understand the planning in much better way. So and it's 1 month I'm going non-stop on the planning track. I don't have any plans leaves or I don't have any plans for the next 1 month till I complete your track. So I'll be with I'll be doing it. Yeah, so I can say there are no breaks after this. So make sure you all have utilized this break. Okay, this last 2 weeks, last week and current week. Yeah, that's just one heads up I want to give it to the people. That's it. I don't want to do it at end of session because most of the people leave by that time. So yeah, coming back, guys, come back again. The same screen, whether it's a custom role or standard role, you see the same screens. In the custom roles, guys, here I cannot edit anything. You'll see you can choose whatever you want to add it in a custom role. So that's the reason most of the organizations, what they do is they simply create custom roles. And for developer, there is one custom role, one big custom role, so that here you see, case of custom roles, you will hardly see 7 to 8 roles getting created, guys. 7 to 8 roles is enough to manage your entire system. If it is standard roles, you need at least got around 13, 14 roles, guys. But if it is custom roles, you just need some 8 roles to manage your end-to-end system. Okay. So generally, we create one role for planning. So means to do anything on the planning, and it will be assigned to SAC consultants. It will have all planning options. And we'll create one role for analytics and reporting. So it will be having all analytic options. Create one role for super users. Okay, and so that contains all the options a super user need. Okay, so you create one role for planners. It contains all the options a planner need. Okay, so super users in the sense like the super users has two things, right? Like one is like business analysts. Here I'll write like BA, business analysts, and strategy makers, strategy team. So we create one role, okay, so that the super user can come and build their own stories. But in planning, guys, we do it different way. So we create a planner role which is assigned to all the planners, financial planners. For end users, we create one role so that end users can come and access all the stories. Okay, and to maintain the users and roles, we create another role. Okay, so that role is given to some person, some security person, so that he can create the users and he can maintain the roles. Okay, we have an admin role user using which he can generally using which we can create the connections, he can create the users, okay, etc, etc. And then we got some role for transport management. This is also given to SAC consultant so that he can transport the objects from development to quality. So guys, this transport management tool is given to SAP consultant in the development system so that he can transport from development to quality. But in quality, you don't see quality, you don't see it at all. And in the quality, this is given to the administrator. Clear, guys? To quality to production, a consultant cannot. It should be some admin guy. Right? These are some customer. So what options will be checked in the planner role, guys? In the planning roles, what options? For suppose what options we're gonna check planning. Okay. So here, if you want to create a dimension like public dimension, so yes, read, update, and it will be checked in. Let me show you what we planning role. Let me open this EA modeler role. So here you see, so we check the option, create, read, update, and delete public dimensions. I didn't create a public dimension so far, guys. I'll be creating in the planning. So you see the real data modeling in the planning because in analytics, I was more focused on reporting, but now onwards, I'll be more focused on planning and other stuff, modeling and other stuff. We create dimensions. We'll maintain currencies and we also do currency conversion in the planning. So I enable that option. You can create a planning model. Yes, you can create an analytic model also. It's up to you. You can give analytic model. If you want to give a pure planning role to the user, so you can create only planning models. Analytic models, you can give only the option of read the existing models. That's it. Okay. So guys, you see the roles, users, and teams. They can see the users, they can read the users, and they can read the teams. They cannot have anything on the roles front. Okay. So guys, these options will be enabled. These options will be enabled for the role, user management role. Okay. So for this role, you have like option of create user role and team, read, update, and delete user role and team. So that if we enabled all these three options, all the four options for these three, okay, role, user, and team, and put it in one role, okay, so that if this role is assigned to any team or person, so that team can create users, that team can create roles, that team can create the teams. So these are the options that will be enabled in the user management role. These are the only options that will be enabled in the user management role. Even activity log also. Okay. So then you got data change log, where you have an option of life cycle management. Okay. So generally, life cycle management is given in the transport management role. In the transport management role, we enable the option of read, maintain, and share the transport life cycle management. Okay. So generally, guys, in the admin role, you can create the connections also, create the connection, read the connection, create the connection is available in the admin role. Okay. Public files is also available in the admin role. Okay. All right. In the administrator role, you see these options like create connections and everything. In normal planner role or analytic role, you don't see this option of create connection. Yeah, makes sense. You understood, right? So the screen is same, guys. For in different roles, we enable different options. That's it. It's a very simplified process. Okay. So then in the planning role, guys, we give dimension, currency, planning model. Along with that, okay, they can read the connections, not create the connections. Read the connections means make use of the connection. So they and you see some planning options here. They can run the allocation steps, allocation process. Okay, explore the data. They can run some value driver trees. These are planning options only. Okay, they can run some analytics hub. You can ignore. They can do data locking, data actions. They can run some predictive scenario. They can create applications or read the applications. Okay, data sets. They can create and read data sets. Point of interest. You can give all the options what are needed. Schedule the publication. It's up to you. Okay, comments, adding the comments, comment widgets. This is also there. Planning, this is a planning topic. Validation rules, a planning process topic. Multi-actions, a planning topic. So you enable all the options needed for to do all your planning activity. So this one role, guys, with all planning options enabled, and assign it to SAC consultant. Assign it to SAC consultant so they can do all the planning work. Okay. So again, guys, the planner role. Okay, in the planner roles, what we give to financial planners, what we exactly give to financial planners is we give them read the currency, read the dimension, and read the model. That's it. They cannot create the models, they cannot create the currencies, or they cannot create the dimension. They can only read the modeling. Okay. Even in the allocation, if I scroll down, the allocation step, they can read the allocation step, but they cannot create the allocation step. They can read and read the allocation process and execute the allocation steps and process. They can read and execute, but they cannot create them. Value driver trees also they can read and they can execute, but they cannot create. You understand, right? So the planners can execute. Generally, planners only execute these allocations. Planner only executes these value driver trees. I'll show you very how they execute during the planning session. They can create the planning logs. When it comes to data logging, right? They can create the data logs also. They can execute. They can maintain the data logs. So data actions also they can read and they can execute data actions, but they cannot create data action as such. So like that, there are some planning options. Okay, when it comes to the developer, he can create, update, delete everything. When it comes to the planner, he can only read and he can execute. He can read and he can execute, but he cannot change it or modify it or create or modify that. Right? You understood, right? So these are given. These are given to even multi-actions also given to the planners where they can and execute. Read, execute for planners. Read, create, update, delete for developers. Understood, right? So this will create one separate role for development team, one separate role for planners. Okay, so that's it, guys. So it will be like one team will get one role. Maybe consultants will get multiple roles like planning role, analytic role, like that. So what we give in analytic role options is like we give them the option to read, create the public dimension. Public dimension is there in analytic and planning models. Create public dimensions. Read the currency, read the planning model, create analytic model. Okay. Then public files you can only read, cannot create public file. Private files we can. Then in the allocation steps they can only read, they cannot create anything. Value driver trees, digital. If you want them to create digital boardrooms, also create digital boardroom, etc. You can give them. Okay, predictive scenarios. If you want them to create predictive scenarios, also add that option. You want them to create analytic applications, data sets, give all these options. Even in planner role also we give the same option, because we create predictive scenarios in planning also. Okay. So we enable all these options in both planner role and BI role. In analytics and planning role, most of the options are commonly checked. Okay. So we give access to all the required thing and create a role out of it. Guys, if you want to add one more thing, guys, for suppose you created a role, okay, in that thing, okay, you didn't check digital border. Okay, your company don't have a digital border, so you didn't check digital border. So, but your company purchased digital boardroom also, digital boardroom access as well. Now your organization wants you to create a digital boardroom. Then what you guys, first you go to the role, okay, add that digital boardroom into the developers, just to the role, check mark that option and save it. That's it. So the user can now go and create a digital boardroom. So management is very, very easy, guys. Now role management is very easy in SAP Analytics. Understood, right? It's very simplified process. Okay, easiest I ever see. Okay, and you don't need even one consultant to maintain the user management. You don't need even one full-time consultant to do that. Okay. So you hardly see 8 to 9 custom roles in any company, guys. How big your company is, you don't see 10 roles. You don't see 10 custom roles. Okay, you can go and even check your companies. If your organization has SAP Analytics Cloud, go and check. Okay, if some company created more than 10 roles, means they are not doing the role management correctly. Okay, it doesn't mean I'm wrong. It means they didn't do the role management correct. Okay.
Such a one user can be there in multiple teams, right?
Yeah, one user can be there in multiple teams. One user can be there in multiple teams, and one team obviously have multiple users. And one role can be assigned to multiple teams.
Oh.
Simple. One user can be present in multiple teams. One team will have multiple users. This is very simple. When it comes to the roles, one role can be assigned to multiple teams. Okay, and one team can have multiple roles. Okay, so these are some roles what we see in SAC.
Generally, how it will be done in organizations? The only SSC consultant will do, or any separate basis or admin people will do, or how the general practice?
There is no basis here, man. First thing, we don't have basis.
No, I am
Okay.
asking general practice in.
So generally, some companies they hire a security consultant. Okay, or they only make an SAC consultant as security. Depends on the organization. In few organization, we only did the management. Okay, we have one user. Okay, so that user has a user management role. Okay, we have an admin user which has a user management role. Okay, means if we connect with that user, we can create the users. Okay, so here guys, I'm directly logging with my GEID. What I can do, I can log in with another user, okay, which has that role. Using that role, we create means with that user, we'll create the new users, new teams, new roles, etc. Okay, and once our work is done, we log out from the user. So I cannot log in with my user and do this. Okay, activity. I need to connect with a system user to do this. Getting my point? So we'll create one system user, and that user has a user management role. Okay, enabled means if you connect with that user, you can make any changes to the roles, make any changes to the users and teams. Okay, so in most of the organizations, you see SAC consultants connecting with that user and do all the activity. But few organizations, what they do is large scale companies, they don't take risk. They take one security person. Okay, only he will be having access to that user or role, and he will do it separate. Not basis, it's security. Okay. So one point is we don't need a big security team here, guys, or we don't need a security consultant also. Very, very honestly, I'm saying with my experience in SAC, we don't have one single full-time security consultant. Guys, I'm saying it very, very frankly, going forward, especially if you are in SAP, these come out of basis and security. There is no administration going forward. You guys, earlier, if you have some product like BW or something, you need a big basis team to manage that. Right now, everything is managed by SAP. This product has got no administration, no management, nothing to do here. So I don't need an administrator. So I always say to the people, just come out of these things, because the future products will not have big security team needed. They don't need a big basis team needed. Maybe the traditional products like ABAP servers need them, on-premise systems need them, but these cloud, we don't need it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. But everything is being done by SAP only, right? Quarterly releases and everything. So
Everything is done by SAP. They update the patch. Man, this is hosted on SAP cloud platform. They can do
yeah,
anything on this product.
yeah.
Okay. They don't access our data and files. That's it. They can upgrade anything on this. They do it also. Every company will use the latest version only. For any company, the upgrade happens. Okay, there is no difference. If you see the screen of one company, you see one version, another company, another version, you never see that. All right, just a moment, please. Okay, so generally we create these custom roles. So max to max, you see 7, 8, 6, 5, 6 roles, guys. That's it. These are some custom roles you see. In some companies, even the planning role and analytic role were combined into one role. So it's like one role for all consultants. That's it. One role is needed to do all your activity. Maybe for offshore, they will create one role, and on-site, they'll create another role. That is also you see. Okay. Super users, one role. Planners, one role. That's it. Okay. End users, one role. Very simple. For user management and security and administration, there'll be one role. That's it. Okay. These are like some 7, 8, 76 to max 10 roles, guys, not more than 10. Okay. It's a very simplified process. And you want to make any change, you want the developers to do some more activity, just go to the role and enable that option. That's it. Save that role. That's it. So what we do is, what types of teams we create here is, we create team for developers. We create team for super users. Okay, for all developers will be part of one team. So these roles will be assigned to those developers, these two roles. Okay. So all the planners will be part of one team. So this role will be assigned to the planners. All super users like business analyst and strategy max will be part of one team. This role will be assigned to them. Okay. To maintain the security, we'll create one system role. Okay. And that you have a security team, we'll assign this user management role to the security team. Otherwise, we'll create one user, have the system user management role, and developer will connect with that user. Developer will not log in on his ID. Instead of that, he will connect on the system user ID. Okay. If you have administrator, okay, like to do all the transport management and connection creation, admin user, using administration user, you can create connections, maintain the connections, you can do transports, etc. Okay, so this is also for this admin also, guys, we create a user, an admin user. Okay, and SAC consultants only log into that user and create all these objects and disconnect from that user. So if we give this admin role to the SAC consultant directly, guys, he can do anything, right? He will do transports like hell. Okay, so that's the reason. So we actually restrict. So you need to connect with that user and do all the activity. Yeah, makes sense. If you have a security team, this user is given to security. Okay, if you have an administrator, this user is given to that admin guy. You don't have a security and admin persons in place, so we only connect with these users and do the activity. Very simple. But when it comes to end users, guys, we'll have multiple teams. Like we'll see multiple teams in end users, like sales managers, one team, HR managers, finance, profit and loss planners, inventory managers, store managers, like that. You see different types of end users. Okay, for developers, super users, planners, it's one team. All the users will be part of the team. But when it comes to end users, you will see a lot of teams get. So why we create a lot of teams for end users, I'll discuss, because there is a concept called sharing options. I'm going to cover in the next session. Okay, there is a concept called sharing options, so that, see guys, an end user cannot access all the stories in the system, guys. You got like 100 stories. We cannot give an end user to access all the 100 stories. If he's a
Yeah.
sales manager, he should access only sales stories. If he's a finance, he should access only that kind of folders. Okay, we actually restrict users to access only their kind of dashboards, only the dashboards what they really need. So in that case, that's the reason we create multiple teams on end users, and we give that folder access to that end users. Okay, so that is what we call it as sharing option, which I'm going to cover next session. To have these sharing options, we create multiple teams on end users. Okay, all right. So guys, generally, um, your traditional systems like ECC, BW, lots of roles, guys, lots of roles, because now three types of restrictions. In roles, we can do three types of restrictions or three types of authorizations. One, activity authorization. Activity authorization means what person can create what objects or see what objects. This is nothing but activity authorization. These all are activity authorization. Okay, means what activity a person can do in the system. Okay, so we got three types of roles, three types of authorizations. One is activity authorization. Second one is object authorization, means what users can access what type of reports or what type of data models. Okay, this is what we call it as object authorization. Okay, we got object authorizations, means what objects can be accessed by different users. Third one is like data authorizations. Even for suppose guys, you have sales managers, we give them access to all sales reports. Even in the sales report, if I'm a manager from India, I should access only the sales data for India region. I cannot access other region data. Okay, so this is what we call it as data authorization or data restriction. Okay, so generally in normal traditional systems, we maintain object authorizations and data authorizations also through roles. 80-90% of the roles are created for object authorizations and data authorization. Okay, so that's the reason in your traditional systems, please mute yourself if you're not speaking. Okay, so generally in normal traditional systems, you got different for the object authorizations and data authorizations. Also, we create roles. That's the reason you see a lot of roles. We need a big security team to do this activity. But in SAC, we create roles only for activity authorization. For object authorization, we have a simple option called sharing options. You share it, they can access it. That's it. Very simple. I'm going to show you how sharing options work. And then for data level restrictions, we have a concept of org dimension. I'll speak about that. Okay, how we can restrict the users to access only their relevant data. It's a very simplified process, so that we don't need a role for object restriction and we don't need a role for data level restriction. That's the reason we don't need lots of roles in SAP Analytics Cloud System. Clear now? Makes sense? Any questions here, anyone? At least please confirm. Okay. So guys, in today's session, I covered about activity authorization. The next session, I'll speak about object authorizations, how we share the objects to the end users. And then I'll speak about data authorization, how we make use of data authorizations. Okay, the types of sharing option. And then I'll show you how we, what are the types of systems. We have single tenant subscription, multi-tenant subscription, got multi-tenant subscription, how we transport the objects from development, quality and production. Okay, and then we got an analytics portal, FA portal, how end users access from the portal. I'll speak about these options in the next. Okay, I'll be wrapping up administration part by next session. Okay, so next session is on Saturday at a regular time, guys, 7:15. We'll be wrapping up this admin part so that next week I'll have one session on connections, and after that it's all planning, guys. So it will be a big from next week, going to be big. Okay, please make sure you clear off all your backlogs. Okay, thank you all. Have a great day. See you on Saturday.
Thank you.